All right. Good morning, everybody. No music, no dance, no fanfare. We're just going to get straight to the point because we got things to do. I got work to get to. So do you. New Mutants. Holy cow. I know everybody's talking about DC fandom, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, but I wanted to talk about New Mutants not showing up in theaters in my state, state of California. State of distress, state of dismayed, state of worry. State of California right now still has a lot of the measures in place to keep social distancing, face masks, a lot of the social gatherings that gather more than 50 people inside of a building. A lot of those are still in place. And that means movie theaters, Lopter, Demon King of Inferno, hail! Uh, yeah, movie theaters are definitely out. There's still a lot of restrictions on how many people can be inside of a store at any given time. Um, Gyms still closed down. You know what? They opened the gyms for like 5 seconds, and then the governor instituted his little restriction, and then they shut down again. So in the state of California, we are not going to be seeing the New Mutants, a movie I've been waiting to see since 2018. However, what we do have, what I do have, I have an option. Let's go and share this screen. Look at that. That is amazing. Right there. Century 16 Santa Fe Station in Rancho Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada. I can see this at 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. They got some old movies too. Personal History of David Copperfield, Unhinged. And then another one in North Las Vegas, The New Mutants at 7 and 7:30. The New Mutants, an IMAX 2D experience at 6 p.m. And then not a lot of other movies because, things are just getting back into working order. They're showing Bloodshot again. They're showing Sonic the Hedgehog, Black Panther from 2018, Deadpool, Star Wars, The Force has awakened. The more well received of the Disney Star Wars trilogies, sequels. The Empire Strikes Back, Unforgiven, Jaws, Back to the Future, just a lot of old movies, a lot of old films spanning sheesh, putting Jaws up there. But yeah, that is the state that we're in right now. Las Vegas. I have to travel across state lines in order to see this movie. I don't know what Disney is doing. I am kind of frustrated that Disney is kind of silent with a lot of the things that they are doing, and the things that they are doing just don't make sense. I'm sure it makes sense to their little books, their accounting. They're trying to get this movie out in theaters so they can get it out on streaming services as fast as possible, maybe. See, here's the thing. I am not a fly on the wall in the Disney shareholder meetings. I am not privy to any of the contracts that were signed beforehand or after the acquisition of the Fox franchises happened. So I don't know what the hell Disney is doing by releasing this film in a limited release. Like two of the biggest markets right now cannot see this movie: New York and California. People might argue that these are not the biggest markets, the biggest markets in North America. People might argue that no, California, New York, no. Guess what? Um, there's there's still a big population. Deviantborg, hail! Aha! I didn't understand it was live. I was thinking it was. I better highlight these. Get active on this thing. Um, why would you think it was recorded? Recording takes time. Time is something I don't have a lot of. But yeah, this is problematic because I see DC over the weekend completely destroying the entertainment conversation. Everybody's talking about the Batman. Um, Rob Pattinson, for better or worse, is going to be part of the DC world. There are scenes. When I saw that trailer, there were scenes that I liked. He was just beaten down on that gangster clown, and it had this very Daredevil vibe, which that might piss off some DC fans, but this is you know, there's something appealing about having something so visceral being portrayed on screen, where it's enough, but not too much. Yeah, screw you, Deviant Porg. France, dude, you already got your movies. You're probably already seeing the New Mutants. You've probably already seen the New Mutants. Yeah, that's my frustration. But it's a hilarious frustration because it's about movies. It's about film. It's nothing too serious. Nothing to start shooting people over. Um, over the past few weeks, Daredevil meets for me it's Daredevil meets Seven. I vaguely remember Seven. Um, for me, it is Batman Begins Again. Batman Begins Again, and a little bit of what was that movie? It was kind of like a horror. No, yeah, Seven. It was Seven, but or like 12 Monkeys. No, but yeah, I like the vibe that was coming from the Batman. I know a lot of comic book sticklers and purists will have an issue with costume, Rob Pattinson's look, Rob Pattinson's overall aesthetic. Um, yeah, and then you guys are seeing Tenet as well. You just frustrate me to no end. Um, but yeah, the DC also dominated with the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Uh, so everybody's talking about those. Are they talking about Suicide Squad yet? They didn't really. They showed like featurettes, like James Gunn talking about the film, the little behind the scenes filming that was happening, and I'm amazed they put that out because usually, from what I've seen of James Gunn's thing, or what I get from James Gunn is like he wants to have audience see a finished product. Um, and behind the scenes things are kind of just you know I mean, some of the aesthetic for John Cena's character, Harley Quinn, looks like a freaking night and day between that stupid Birds of Prey movie and what she's wearing here. I'm all in on this. I'm all in on this Harley Quinn. Polka Dot Man by David Dasmalchian. I just, uh, yeah, I'm not too sure about King Shark, but this is again, these are nitpicks. These are, these are things that I see in a movie and I go, okay, that's not quite what I'm used to. That's completely different than what I've seen in the comic books, at least the comic books that I've read. Um, and when I say comic book purists, I say in terms of what a person has read as they have received as the canon for themselves as what the character should look like. I know a lot of people like the Batman design where he has the blue cape and gray the gray outfit. Other people going for that long pointy ear, um, and they want the long nose as well. It's just there's a lot of preference in terms of an individual what they want to see as compared to what they received as what was their canon for that comic book. Like, I want the Wolverine 90s Jim Lee X-Men. I want that design. A lot of other people want the gold and tan version, which was kind of a little bit of Jim Lee, but more like, oh yeah, look at that Harley Quinn. It shows less squint. It shows less skin. It's 1,000 times betters. Proof it's not about being sexy, but being badass. Cool. And great bonus, it's accurate to her color code. Yeah, damn straight. But yeah, DC fandom just killed it over the weekend. And I am loath to see what happens next weekend when it's all about the comics because as everybody knows, the bloodbath happened right before DC Fandom, and a lot of the comic book industry in DC got slashed, hacked, and torn to pieces. And but yeah, back to New Mutants. New Mutants is coming out this week for everybody else, except California, New York. We still got our restrictions in place. I have to go to Las Vegas to see this fucking movie. And I will tell you right now, I am not going to Las Vegas to see this fucking movie. Why? Because I have to waste a bunch of gas, travel a bunch of hours to sit in the theater for an hour and a half, somewhat. Sorry, an hour and 34 minutes to see a movie. I'll have a bunch of more drive time than I will in seeing this movie. And in Vegas right now, despite everything being open, there's not a lot to do. It's not really because I was in Vegas over the. So you guys saw my Twitter post, right? Deviantporg and Lopter. The days that I was talking about being in 116 weather, I was in Vegas. I went to areas outside of Vegas. I went to Havasu, which was also Arizona, where it got up to 120. And for me to go back there, I'd have to be freaking nuts. I am not going back into 116 freaking weather. OC Steve, hail! Yeah, Fandom was made. I saw your video. Um, yeah, just recycling stuff from that they couldn't use for the Comic Con panels that they wanted. Um, yeah, the new Batman looks like an MCR cover band reject. Yeah, and he's got the apparently the bat logo on his chest is the gun that was used by Joe Cool, if I remember the stories correctly. I don't follow a lot of DC stuff. I'm pretty general normie when it comes to any DC kind of properties. Um, a lot of people are excited for the Snyder Cut. There's a careful hesitancy towards the Batman. The trailer looked great, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, as a DC normie, the trailer looked great. Uh, will it deliver in the theaters? I don't know. We haven't seen this kind of Riddler before. The only Riddler we were exposed that I was exposed to was the Jim Carrey Riddler, which, when going back and seeing it, it hasn't aged well. That movie has not aged well. Um, yeah, and oh yeah, let me highlight all this. Yeah, yeah. So everybody knows what you guys are talking about. New Mutants will be streaming on a streaming site for a premium rental charge, $30 for Amazon or DC Plus. So from what I've been reading, HBO gets first dibs on the streaming stuff or on the rental stuff, because of the Fox. It was a property of Fox, so Fox gets the first dibs. That's why you didn't see any of the X-Men stuff show up immediately on the Disney Plus streaming services when they were starving for any kind of content, because um, all those other streaming services outside of Disney had first dibs. Um, whether we'll see it on Disney Plus because of a change in ownership, I don't know. Again, I'm not privy to those contracts. I just know what I've heard on the rumor mill. Um, but yeah, that's this is the sorry state of the New Mutants in Disney at this point. They have a new movie. They have a new movie that cannot show in two of the biggest North American markets, and yes, that is that is the way. This is the way. If Disney will not allow Californians to watch the movie, Californians who want to watch the movie will watch the movie. I'll just say that. Ah, DeviantPorg, can you do me a favor? Can you do the internet a favor? Bring a camcorder into the theater. Oh shit. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. But yeah, if you don't do it, be DeviantPort, someone else in France or in Belgium or in Luxembourg, they'll do it. They'll put it online. They'll make it available, and those of us that have not seen it, you know what? This movie is probably out somewhere already. Okay, I'll give you guys a little scoop on some of the things that I've been doing. I go into the deepest, darkest parts of the web to find things. Yeah, think of me, whatever. Um, but yeah, deepest, darkest parts of the web. I go into them and I find the things that usually people don't want to see. In terms of like entertainment stuff, not that stuff. Uh, that's how I got a little bit of the clips from Infinity War. That's how I got some clips from Endgame before it came out. That's how I was able to watch Dark Phoenix even though it was out in theaters a couple of days later. I somehow saw the movie. I also saw the Rise of Skywalker a day before it was out in theaters because, the internet's a wonderful place. So, if I do my digging, I'm fairly certain I'll be able to find this movie on the internet somewhere. It's amazing. I didn't think of that before. But yeah, that's you know what? Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys. I think we've solved the New Mutants problem for those of us in California. OC Steve, thank you. And Deviantborg, thank you. And Lopter, Demon King of Inferno, thank you. We've come to a solution. Captain Marvel via Cody, I was not giving Brie Larson money. Here's the thing. We're giving Marvel money, but we're giving Marvel money to promote this movie. With a lot of the things that I've been hearing on the rumor mill about what they've got coming up, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to say I'm going to continue to give the theaters and Marvel my money, especially with one America Chavez coming up. If the rumors are true, America Chavez coming up is a bad moon rising for Marvel. I'm not even going to get into that. The story will be coming out on Bounding into Comics, but America Chavez, if you know her history in the comic books, puke now and get it all out right quick because it might be happening. Yeah, The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Skywalker. Yeah, and you shouldn't have to pay for it. Guess what? I wanted to pay for New Mutants. I would have paid if Disney said, "Hey, it's gonna be $60." I'll pay the $60 to watch this movie. Um, yeah, I gotta. Ah, Demon Porg, what are you doing, dude? The last West Coast Avengers run that was like 2018. She hasn't had any relevancy or agency since it's been 2 years. Um, at least that's the last time that anybody was talking about her in any kind of semblance to what's happening in the comic books. Um, yeah. Here's the thing about that movie. When I saw it, I was like, this is not as woke as she had advertised it. It wasn't this big women's movement. It wasn't this huge femininity foot up the ass of the patriarchy thing. There were hints of it. There were hints of it, but it wasn't this huge thing. If it was this huge thing, it would not get a Chinese audience. I'm sorry. It would not have a Chinese audience. It wouldn't have any kind of audience. If it was as woke as it could have been, it would have made what was the wokest movie this year? Birds of Prey. It would have made Birds of Prey money. It would have made Charlie's Angels money. The reboot, not the original. It would have made Terminator Dark Fate money. And a lot of that was like it was right before Avengers Endgame, so people wanted to know what the fuck was going on with this character, this new character. And the only thing you could get from that movie is she got powered by a stone, she can break ships apart. That's all you needed to know. The movie, and the character you needed to watch before Endgame was Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Ant-Man and the Wasp made considerably more than Birds of Prey. And which is saying it didn't do that well. Didn't do as well as Captain Marvel, but that was the essential movie to watch before Avengers Endgame to understand what was going on with the quantum realm. But no, people saw Captain Marvel. Anyway, so it is 11:10. I've got to get on the run. I just wanted to get on here, get content moving again for Monday Morning Mutant Mumblings live stream. We're going to do the Thursday therapy. Tuesday, if I am not called into work early, I'm going to be on with John and the rest of the crew for Trek Tuesdays. Wednesday, I'm thinking about doing something in the morning as well if I'm not called in early to work. But yeah, this is live streaming on the run. Thanks for joining me, guys. Okay, OCC for that. More OP and DBZ me hitting with the head 90s reference at the point of nausea. Okay, so if America Chavez is coming, it'll make Captain Marvel look like a freaking ant. Because America Chavez is the quintessential Mary Sue, from what I've understood from reading the comics. I never read the comics when those came out. Going back and reading them, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's more powerful than Captain Marvel. And she's actively doing saying the stupidest shit. Which is why her titles didn't really last that long. Women power, whatever. Anyway, so that's all of the time that I've got today. I'll try to get all these other things going, and I've got a number of. Yeah, Chavez makes no sense at all, and her teleportation star is kind of goofy, very freaking like very Kirby, like Kirby, the little ball, pink puffy ball, travels on the star. Yeah. Wonder Woman with time travel and teleportation. Yeah, and the ability to shoot beams out of a big star that appears out of nowhere. Yeah. It's no, you have not seen Mary Sue yet, but she is coming. She will be in the form of a Latina multiversal rebellious teen. Break out your vibrators, folks. Anyway, I will see you guys in a bit, and we will have more of these kinds of discussions. Thanks for joining me, and take care.